Okay, so here we're going to discuss von Willebrand disease, represented by this van over here with Will on it, right? Will Smith over here on this van for von Willebrand disease. So let's have an introduction on what von Willebrand Factor is. So it binds to exposed collagen in areas of endothelial damage. This allows platelets to bind through their GP receptor, and without von Willebrand Factor, platelets cannot bind. And this is what the disorder is all about. And that's what von Willebrand disease is that there's a decreased von Willebrand Factor, and that's why this van with Will on it is going down. Help us remember that in von Willebrand disease, von Willebrand Factor goes down. All right, this leads to a defect in platelet plug formation, and that's why this van is going into this plate over here in the blood vessel. There's a tube sticking out of this island thing over here. This tube sticking out's got a plate on it, and the van's going to smash the plate. To help us remember that there's a defect in platelet plug formation. But there's a very key point I'm going to mention here, and it's not in the scene. It's a very, very important point, that even though the platelets are they're becoming abnormal, the platelet count stays normal. The platelet count stays normal even though the platelets don't function properly. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't forget that. And also, we note over here, by the way, I don't know how the van went down, but I do know that the owner is really sad about it. This owner over here, he's actually a domino. Dominoes always show up in our autosomal dominant disorders because von Willebrand disease is inherited in an autosomal dominant manner. We note that although the van is going down, for some reason this clock is shooting up. And that's because the lab values for von Willebrand disease include increased bleeding time, because since there's a defect in platelet plug formation, bleeding time will increase. We note over here that this guy, this domino guy, not only is his van going down, his table tennis racket got stuck in the tree. Table tennis, or playing table tennis racket for PTT. That's in the tree, so it's up, it's high, it's increased. Because in von Willebrand disease, PTT is increased. PTT is associated with the intrinsic coagulation pathway, which von Willebrand disease is associated with, and that's going to be increased or normal in von Willebrand disease. So again, VWF is going to go down, and by the way, factor 8 is also decreased in von Willebrand disease since von Willebrand factor protects factor 8 from proteolysis. As for treatment for von Willebrand disease, the van over here, we notice that there's this logo. It's sort of like a decimal place. It's a decimal place, and let me just give you a hint. You can press it. It's a decimal place that you can press for desmopressin. That's used for treatment in von Willebrand disease. Alright, some of our videos are weirder than others. I would say this was on the weirder side, but if it helps you remember it, that makes me happy. I'd appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments. Be in touch. Take care.